Hey, it's me and Miss Peggy again, and I'm here to do your next week of stuff that you got in your science kit. So we're going to be planting today. We're going to be planting kaleidoscope carrots and pole beans. But first, before we do that, there's some science I want you to, some words I want you to learn. Now, as you know, on a plant, here I'm going to look at this onion plant that my daughter planted.
It's got water in the bottom of it.
Oh, it has water in the bottom. Okay, I'll be very careful moving it. Okay, when we look at a plant, we know that the part underneath the dirt contains the root. If it is like a bulb, it may have other parts to it too, but basically the root of the plant is under the ground. Then it has the stalk or the stem, and then if it's going to flower, if it's a flowering plant, or if it's going to make fruit, the fruit and the flower and the leaves come out from the stem. The leaves are important because that's how it receives nutrition from the sunlight, so that's good. But also, like on this one, you would say, this is, by the way, is a purple onion that my daughter planted. So I don't know if you can see inside there, but you know how those onions are either this kind of color. This is a Vidalia onion, so it's like yellow, sort of yellow whitey color. And this one is a purple onion. So anyway, when we plant an onion, she took an onion and planted it, and it grew a whole nother plant, because this is actually the same as those bulbs that we planted. Remember when we had the gladiola bulbs over here? We had these. If you notice, they look almost the same. They're different sizes, of course. But a gladiola bulb, ooh, that one looks awful. Here, let me get a pretty one. A gladiola bulb, here, looks basically kind of like a tiny onion. And if you've ever had your mom or dad cook with garlic, a piece of garlic similarly looks like this. These are bulbs. They're the part of the plant that whenever the seed is inside, it has to have something to eat while it's down there, kind of like a baby chicken and an egg. And so inside of the bulb is not only the seed, but it's also the portion that the seed or the plant eats when it's underneath the ground. So anyway, an onion is a bulb, and when we're eating vegetables, we eat all kinds of parts of the plant. It just depends on the vegetable. Like when you're eating garlic or you're eating an onion, then you're eating this, basically the root of the plant. Another kind like that would be a potato. This is a potato, and see, it grows, and that's the part that's under the ground, so the potato plant would be on top. A sweet potato is a very beautiful plant. If you ever want to plant something that's pretty that you can also eat, a sweet potato is perfect because they're very useful. You know, we can eat them, but the sweet potato, the portion of the green plant that grows out is very pretty. And a lot of times when you go places, people will have sweet potatoes planted around, not because they're eating them, but just because they look nice. So these are called tubers. Potatoes and sweet potatoes, they're not shaped in this bulbous shape or this sort of symmetrical shape. Now, here's the inside of an onion. An onion is in a garlic and the gladiola that we did, they're bulbs, and in the bulb, one thing, this will make me smell like an onion picking this up, but anyway, so when you look inside of a bulb, if you cut the cross piece, you can tell that it is kind of like a flower, and that it has the middle portion. And if you were to plant this, that's where the stem of the plant would grow from. Okay, and this is sort of what it would eat inside of there if it were left in the ground. So that's what the stem gets, you know, nutrition while it's under the ground, because it can't get sunlight, and it has to have something to, you know, sustain it. So anyway, so a bulb, it's symmetrical and it's sort of round looking. I'd say, you might even say
Spherical?
Spherical, yeah, like a ball. And so a tuber usually, not always, but a tuber usually is like an oblong, oval shape, and they can be kind of weird. If you've ever seen a sweet potato, sometimes they're kind of twisty looking or whatever. They can grow long, and this is actually the same thing as the stem of the plant, but we end up eating it. So when we eat vegetables, we eat all kinds of parts of plants. So there are also green onions. I don't know if you've ever seen them grow out in a field, but they look long and thin like that. They have a tiny little bulb, and then they grow long and thin. And if you ever eat chives, like on a baked potato, those little green ones that they cut up, that is also an onion, and that's, you're eating the stem of the onion. And even there's a white piece that's a stem, and even the leaves to an extent, because they have the long skinny green portions. So a carrot, a celery is also a stem. If you eat asparagus or if you eat celery, you're eating the stem of the plant. So you can tell it very much looks like a stem. And this leaves on the end, these look kind of dead. But anyway, but whenever celery grows, that's how it grows. So this is the part you eat, You put peanut butter and raisins on if you do ants on a log. And this is the, it's like the stem. That's the part that's good on a piece of celery. Now, lettuce, of course, we call it a lettuce leaf. And the part that we eat there on the lettuce are the leaves. The lettuce grows right at the base of the ground, so it doesn't have very much of a stem. It has a little piece of it here, and we don't like it usually. In my family, we cut that off. I don't like to get that in my salad, but anyway. So, and lettuce grows leaves. This is romaine lettuce, so it has really big leaves, but some of them are real flowery looking, leaves. And
Or spherical.
They're also spherical, right? Yes. So spherical is a nice word for ball shaped. Okay, so now when we eat a broccoli, you've eaten broccoli, you're actually eating the flower of the broccoli. They have long stems on broccoli, and the stems are okay. They don't taste as good, I don't think, as the florets, is what they call them, the little end pieces of the flower. But when you're eating a broccoli, you are actually eating a flower. And so these are fruit. So in a plant, whenever you have the fruit, if you look here, the strawberry, inside of a strawberry, I'm going to bite it because I like strawberries. A strawberry is not a vegetable, by the way, it's a fruit. But inside of a strawberry, you can see, here's the piece where it's connected to the plant. I'll pull this part off. So you can see the little stub where it was. And all these little black dots are seeds. So these are actually strawberry seeds along the outside of the strawberry. And this is the fruit, because the fruit is the portion that contains the seeds. When we have an apple, if you were to cut this apple open, which we can do, but anyway, we did it in the class, remember, and you have the 5 little seeds in it, because the apple is the fruit of the apple tree. A bell pepper also. So I was going to have a knife and cut those open, and I don't think I sent a knife over here. So anyway, a blueberry is a fruit also, and the blueberry does contain the seed, but it's too little for you to see it. But inside of there, you look really close in the middle. Okay. See the little brown piece?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so fruits have seeds. The fruit part of the plant has a seed. And a tomato, the reason why people joke and say a tomato is a fruit and not a vegetable is that it's the portion of the plant that is called the fruit because it contains the seeds. But it doesn't really taste like a fruit. It's more nutritionally like a vegetable. So while we have it, we put it in the category of fruit as a plant, but we eat it like a vegetable. So anyway, so today we're going to be planting 2 vegetables, and I gave your parents the seeds for them. You're welcome at your home if your mom and dad want to do more and have you plant other vegetables. It's really great. Vegetables are good, and we're supposed to eat them. They have a lot of vitamins in them. They're good for you. So anyway, we're going to pull this out, and this is pretty much what you have inside of your science kit. You have a baggie that has potting soil. You're going to need that, and then I have the bags with the seeds. So anyway, this is a clear planter, and the reason why we got this clear planter is because I want you to be able to see the root system. Now, whenever a carrot grows in the ground, the carrot is a taproot. A taproot is a plant that grows straight down. Whoa. It grows straight down, and that we actually eat the root of the carrot. Now, carrots have greens on them, so especially if you have like rabbits or like animals, you can feed them the greens off of the carrots. A lot of little animals really like those, and you have to watch it because if you have a garden out where we live, there are wild rabbits, and I have planted carrots before, and they come by and eat every blessed piece of green off of it.
And they need the greens.
So, yes,
the plant does.
And they need the greens. The plant needs the greens so it can't grow, so thus we did not have any carrots then. So anyway, and it was dry. But anyway, so also in your box, you should have these 2 little like end pieces that hold these up. Now, every time that I set this up, people invariably say, "What is that? Is that an ant farm?" Well, I think that's very funny because this would be the world's worst ant farm. Look at it, it doesn't have a lid. So the ants would crawl in and they would crawl right out. And then they'd be all over the house and that'd be awful. So you slide it into these pieces. Be careful when you do it and don't bust them. So if you get a crack in it, it'll still work, but it might be kind of whomper-jawed looking sitting in the window. So you don't want to be crooked like that. There. Now, this way, because this is thin, when the carrot grows, you're going to be able to see it. Now look at this big carrot. This is not going to fit in here. So if I were growing a carrot in here, I can't grow these really big long ones. So when you start seeing them growing and they're starting to get near the sides or touching the sides, go ahead and replant them because that's not going to work. But the fun of it isn't just that you get to eat it, but also because they'll be pretty little. But the deal is you get to see where they grow. You get to see the taproot. So I picked 2 things this specifically is fun, I think, because they're kaleidoscope carrots, so they're all different colors. So anyway, they grow all different colors, so you can get a variety. And I gave you seeds, and I just grabbed them out of there, so no telling what colors yours are, but it's pretty cool. And the second thing we're going to plant today are pole beans, which kind of look like long, skinny green beans. Anyway, and I picked pole beans because they grow fast. I like for kids to see fast growers. There's other things that you can grow, but if they're slow, it's kind of boring. And I gave you a baggie. That's a
Fast.
Oh, your onion was fast? Oh, okay, cool. So an onion would be a cool thing to do, like that. You can get an onion at the store. Now, I do suggest this. If you're going to grow it from a fruit into a plant to make more fruit, or to make a vegetable and grow it into a plant to grow more vegetables, I suggest that you get an organic one, because there are some things where scientists have effectively made the seeds not work, or be very difficult to have the seeds work. And I would hate to have you plant it and want to grow something and nothing came out of it. So if you get an organic one, it will make another plant if you do it right. But if you just buy them at the grocery store, they don't always work like that, because sometimes they've been genetically modified, which isn't, I don't think it's good at all, but that's what they do. So anyway, now you have a bag that's smaller than this, okay, that has your dirt in it. But it's 3 cups of soil, and there's 3 cups of soil here. When I put this in here, I'm going to pour it in, and so I am going to seal up this part so I don't dump it. Now, you know, Lord willing, I'll get it in there without dumping it on everybody. Anyway, so do it this way, and then we pour it in. Here we go. Okay, and so it should go down inside. If I'm having a problem with it, of course. Okay, let's see. So I'll just kind of help it with my hand, go along. But anyway, we're going to fill it up. 3 cups will fill this thing. And it has this piece in the middle. One kid asked me why this is here. The reason why is because it's too flexible and too flappy if it doesn't have a sealed portion in the middle. So that's why they do that. So the roots will grow around it. It won't stop your carrot or pole bean from growing if they're near it. They'll just sort of bend around. So anyway. So here we go. Oh, Molly. Okay, so I'm going to try and pour it in there. And move over to this side. And also, if you get it all on one side, it's okay, because you can just kind of shake it without, you know, spilling it out and make it move over. So like this. Make it over. Anyway, so it's 3 cups of dirt. And the reason why I picked potting soil is it has nutrition in it that the seeds like. I picked one that says you can use for flowers or vegetables. It's all purpose. They have some that are special too, just vegetables, if your mom and dad want to do that. So here we go. And I recommend that you don't cover it all the way up. The reason why I gave you 3 cups of potting soil is because that's just about enough for you to be able to see the beginning of the plant without it poking out of the planter. The reason why you don't want it to do that is it's sort of vulnerable when it's like that. And we want it to, you know, be able to grow, be a little bit hardy before it gets outside of the planter. In my house, we have to watch it because my cats will come by and eat it in the planter. Every time we leave a planter indoors, we can't grow anything because they come by and eat it at night. So here we go. I know I'm being slow here, sorry. So anyway, so it's important to remember all the parts. Now what I would do is, I would take these carrot seeds, take them in my hand, and I would plant a few of them in the dirt. I use a little spoon to move it out of the way, just enough to plant them down. So I'll do a few, and as I go, and then I cover them up, do a few more, cover them up, a few more, cover them up. Okay, so yeah. And then I'm doing carrots on this side, and then I'm going to do pole beans over here. So anyway, so here I'll go real quick and plant these, and we may have to do this in a set of 2 videos. Anyway, I poke down the beans and cover them up. I'm going to do 3 different ones. So I have 4 minutes left. That's fine. Oh, that's more than enough time. Okay, so anyway, so you poke it down a little ways and you cover it up with more of the dirt. So anyway, and then you add a little bit of water, and that's good, and you will have these pole beans. When they grow, you can eat them. They're edible, and it's just a fun project to see the roots grow and to see the plant come up. The pole beans will probably grow first, but the carrots will grow the bigger root. And this way, because it's skinny in there, you can see, how they grow. So anyway, that's all, and I hope y'all have fun planting your plants, and enjoy teaching you science. And so anyway, so that's this video. Bye.